Welcome back to High School Backups Podcast. My name is Jake. I'm here with Kyle and Nick, and we're here to talk to you about NFL free agency. More specifically, grading every team's NFL free agency prior to the draft. We're going to start today with the AFC East. Today will be the AFC East video. We'll be doing more for each division as, we can get the videos out. But we're starting with the AFC East. We're going to go right down alphabetical order, starting with the Buffalo Bills. Personally, I gave them a B+. They signed Tyler Rapp. They still re-signed Jordan Poyer, which gives them extra safety depth. They signed Damian Harris, which they needed running back. They needed more in that running back room. I think Damian Harris is an upgrade. Trent Sherfield and Deontay Hardy give them some wide receiver depth. And the only player that I noticed that they lost was Isaiah McKenzie. So I think that's a really good offseason for the Bills. Oh, well, they also lost Tremaine Edmonds, their middle linebacker, but still.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, they lost Tremaine
That's
Edmonds.
a big loss.
That's
but
a big
really
loss.
because I don't know who they they have Matt Milano. And
Exactly.
And Matt Milano is good. He's like a B linebacker.
Yes.
But Trey Edmonds was that big hitter guy. He was Matt
Yes.
Milano was your Teddy Bruschi or your Dante Hightower. But then you have your Trey Edmonds, who is your big hitter, your Gerard Mayo, your dude who runs people over. That's my comparison.
I absolutely love Tremaine Edmonds, but again, Buffalo, I think it's a B+. They did lose Tremaine Edmonds, but they have gotten back to they have recouped most of the talent that they've lost.
Yeah.
I don't think they're worse today than they were at the end of last season. I don't necessarily think they're better, but they can't get much better, so.
Yeah,
They're about as average as it could be.
Yes. Well, my opinion, I think that they have missed. You gave them a B+. I'd give them a B- because in my mind, they've missed their biggest opportunity here, which was getting a quarterback coach or an offensive coordinator that's actually going to help Josh Allen continue what he was doing 2 years ago and prior.
Fair.
Because they lost him to a team who was then led to the playoffs and had an amazing season. Probably did he win Coach of the Year? He should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay, Brian Dable. Yeah, I forgot if we talked about that. Brian Dable won Coach of the Year, which he absolutely should have. So.
We are taking coaching moves into account in this video, by the way.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, I think that they missed a big here. So I'd give them a B-.
That's fair.
Team-wise, they look the same roughly. But when it comes to Jordan Poyer coming back is huge. I don't think that's an
That
A+.
huge is an A+ move.
That is a Damian Harris coming in, A- move.
Yeah.
Great. That's the best running back they've had since Josh Allen's been there. And then Tyler Rapp is a big move as well. Secondary is gonna be great.
Because they haven't lost Micah Hyde yet, right? No.
I don't know. I think he was hurt last year, but
Yeah, he was hurt last year, but Micah Hyde's still there.
But point still being, they are missing someone to help Josh Allen flourish again.
Yeah.
So that's hard for me.
Fair enough. Kyle?
Yeah, I also will give them a B-. I think the Tremaine Edmonds loss is probably really what's going to hurt them. I think that's good. That's what, if anything, that would really drastically hurt them in that division with other teams besides the Jets really having significant upgrades. Then, yeah, I think it's not that the Bills really got significantly worse. They just kind of are going to stay the same, unfortunately.
That's fair. I mean, again, that's kind of why I gave them a B+. I think them maintaining their status quo is better than most teams getting better.
I was going to say, they're being the same team is still,
it's better than most teams getting better. Moving right into the Dolphins, I will say right off the bat, the AFC East I thought has been one of the more active and better divisions in football when it comes to offseason this year. Again, straight up B+. I think adding Jalen Ramsey to the back end of that defense is huge. Adding Vic Fangio as their defensive coordinator is huge. And, I mean, they haven't made a lot of moves, but adding Jalen Ramsey shoots that grade up. And the only significant player they lost is Mike Gesicki, who wasn't producing in their offense anyway. Mind you, he's going to produce in the Patriots offense, which we'll talk about later. But that would be the reason that I would say B+ for the Dolphins, too.
Yeah, I mean that Jalen Ramsey move to me is a move.
Mm-hmm.
So with having, if you would say they're played average so far in terms of that, they've lost a little, they gained a little. I would say B or B+ is right around where they should be in my opinion. Jalen Ramsey could be huge for them. The problem is, how are you going to guard a team that has no number one wide receiver? How are you going to do it? How are you going to
do it?
I also would think B is pretty accurate. I don't think the Mike Gesicki loss for the Dolphins is that big, only because they didn't really use him. So how you're not gonna hurt losing a player you never used. So, don't get me wrong, the Gesicki signing is great for the Patriots, and we'll get to that in a couple minutes. But for the Dolphins, I'm sticking with the B minus for them.
That's fair. I'm going to move right along into the Jets grade then. This is going to be much lower than a lot of people expect because I'm not taking into account the fact that Aaron Rodgers is there because he's not. Their moves don't make any sense without the Aaron Rodgers trade actually being completed. And if that trade does get completed, they've probably move up to a B plus A minus range as well. But until that move is done and I see what they give up for Aaron Rodgers, this is a C minus offseason. They hired Nathaniel Hackett as their offensive coordinator. The only place he's ever been successful is Green Bay, where he had Aaron Rodgers. They've added Alan Lazard, who, played with Aaron Rodgers. They added McCole Hardman, who I think would thrive with Aaron Rodgers, except Aaron Rodgers sometimes struggles to see the middle of the field where McCole Hardman is best because he can catch and run through the middle. They did lose Sheldon Rankins, Mike White, James Robinson, and Braxton Berrios. So I think they've lost a lot of talent. And they traded away Elijah Moore subsequently after I had these notes. So honestly, again, their moves just don't make any sense without them getting Aaron Rodgers, which is why I have them at a C minus. If they do end up pulling off that Aaron Rodgers trade, this probably becomes a B plus A minus offseason for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Their offseason has been so weird. So weird. I don't know. I get they want a new quarterback, but I honestly don't see why you would want to go for Aaron Rodgers and why you would want to shake up what you had. The Jets had really something going for them last year, and them really trying to shake up their team to bring in an old quarterback just doesn't make sense to me. And with the moves that they've done right now, it isn't anything outstanding. They picked up some depth wide receivers that they didn't really need. They picked up an offensive coordinator who's only been successful in one location. To me, these moves are really just out of the ordinary. And I think you're being generous with the C, Jake. C minus, Jake. I'll be honest.
Honestly, there are very few. There are very few. I think 2 or 3 teams that got a D grade or below.
I really think the Jets deserve a D here because I don't think they've done anything to better their team at all.
I think they deserve an F because they got rid of Big Dick Mike White.
That's fair.
Honestly, they deserve an F. I know it sounds dumb. I do genuinely think that was a bad thing for them, because Mike White seemed to be the only thing that could cause them to actually have some sort of stimulus in their checks. So, other than that, I don't know. I look at this and I'm like Braxton Berrios, he had production there.
And
whatever.
He subsequently went to the Dolphins, by the way. He's just continuing his AFC East tour.
If you're trading Braxton Berrios for McCole Hardman, I'm taking McCole Hardman.
All day.
Well, James Robinson loss doesn't mean a lot for them because they have
Breece Hall,
Breece Hall
and Michael Carter.
And so they have some good players. So I'm not worried about that. Mike White, I feel like, is a big deal. And Chandler Wickets is a big deal. Otherwise, their defense stayed the same, which is what was their primary runner, the primary reason why they were so good. I agree. In my opinion, genuinely, I think a C minus is solid. If they get Aaron Rodgers, it goes to an A for me.
Yep.
Be pre-draft. After the draft, it could even be higher. It could be an A plus, but it would have to all make sense. And right now, it doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense. And honestly, again, I also have to think about the quarterback talent that they lost out on because they could have had Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, even Baker probably is more successful than Zach Wilson in that system. They have refused to go after Lamar Jackson, who I think makes more sense with their young team and their young pieces. The Jets have a future to build, and they're trying to sell it all on a 38-year-old quarterback, 39-year-old quarterback. So again, it'll go up to an A minus B plus for me probably, but they have to get Aaron Rodgers first. Which also, sorry, go ahead, Kyle.
I was gonna say I don't even know if it goes up that much for me with Aaron Rodgers. You're gonna have to give up the world to get a 38-year-old quarterback who throws a temper tantrum something doesn't go his way. It just makes no sense to me why you're going to give away what you had for an aging quarterback. My grade will go up for them when they get him because obviously he's not going to be an L for them. They'll probably go up to a B minus with it. But I don't know. I just don't see the hype around why they would want to go for an older quarterback when there are much younger quarterbacks and much more successful quarterbacks still out there. Lamar Jackson has been amazing, and they're not even looking his way. Like,
Yeah,
That's
those
a
not
whole
mine.
entirely different topic too.
I know, I know.
Lamar
but
Jackson could have a whole 3-hour video. I
yeah.
Speaking of Lamar Jackson,
Let's move on to the New England
the
Patriots.
New England Patriots.
No,
Do we know if he's going to go here? No, we have
no, he
clue.
absolutely won't be. They're not doing that. Honestly, I think it would be fun. I just don't think it would make sense for the New England Patriots to do that. It would make a lot of sense for the Jets to do it. But again, the Patriots get a B plus grade from me, mostly taking into account the offensive coaching changes. Getting rid of Matt Patricia and getting Bill O'Brien is an A plus move, and getting rid of Matt Patricia and getting Adrian Klum to coach the offensive linemen is an A plus move. They've added James Robinson, who I think can fill a little bit of that James White role that they've been missing for the last few years. They added Mike Gesicki, which will allow them to run Bill O'Brien's signature 12 personnel, which just means 2 tight ends. They've added offensive tackle depth with Calvin Anderson and Riley Reif, which I really like. Chris Board, they've added to their special teams with the Chris Board and Chris Board signing Calvin Anderson twice on here by accident. And then they also added Juju. I know they lost Jacoby Myers. I actually like the move for the Patriots offense specifically because Juju is a better run after catch receiver than Jacoby Myers is. And I think that'll help them big time. They did lose Jacoby Myers, Nelson Aguilar, Damian Harris, and Jonnu Smith. Honestly, with the Jonnu trade, I think that's addition by subtraction because they got rid of $18 million in cap. So,
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the drops, what they lost first, if you
Yeah.
consider any of this. There's only one person on this list I genuinely think is a loss, and there's reasons why. So Jonnu Smith getting a 7th for him. You're saying 2, but I'm going to explain why. It's not
That's fine.
2. Jonnu Smith essentially was a 0 piece, a negative piece, if you will, to this team. So getting a 7th for him was good. I'm not saying Jonnu Smith's bad. He just never fit in. He never cohesively made
fit with the
sense.
Patriots.
And that sucks because it seemed like he really was going to be good, and he didn't. I'll talk about Nelson Aguilar. That's another negative piece to this offense. The dude is like, I don't even know,
Could
man.
never
Like,
figure it
I
out.
was excited for him, and he let me down, and he let down a lot of every Patriots fan. Jacoby Myers was a huge loss here, and the reason why I'm on a little different spot than Jake. At the very least, in my mind, it was a wash.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers for Juju Smith-Schuster at the very least was a wash. I don't think it even gets close to swaying in Jacoby Myers' favor. I think it's more likely to go to Juju's favor, but it's at least a wash. So if anything, I'm like, okay, like you traded. I think that Juju will fit here more than people think. I think that he maybe was looking for an opportunity to be a number 1, which is what really scares me that they're not going to get another wide receiver, and it seems like that more and more every day. And then we did lose Damian Harris, which I know Kyle probably thinks is a big deal, and I don't think so.
I don't agree.
And there's a reason why. The main reason being every single that I can remember running back that's left the system of Bill Belichick has been either out of the league within 3 to 5 years or just had 0 production outside of the Patriots. That includes Sony Michel. That includes other players as well. That
Do you
just
remember
didn't
Jonas
have-
Gray?
Yeah, like this has always been a thing. And not that I think that Damian Harris will do that. He was a good addition. As I said, he was to the Bills.
Nick, do you know the only
but-
exception I can think of to that rule? Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis.
Well, he was good before though.
Well, no, he went to the Bengals afterwards. Is what I
Yeah, I
mean.
guess
Like
you're right.
he
He
was
had
successful
like
with the Bengals.
Yeah, but within 3 to 5 years, he's out of the league. So,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So the Patriots are really good
was-
at using people until they're gone.
Who was the running back who was on the Patriots but then won the Super Bowl with the Eagles when they played the Patriots? What was his name? He wasn't good. He's just
Oh,
one that I'm
LeGarrette
thinking.
Blunt.
Yeah, thank you. That's who it is.
So
Like
the thing is
Garrett
that
Blunt.
he, so I agree, and LeGarrette Blunt also had a year with the Bucks. The only problem with that is LeGarrette Blunt wasn't like a Patriots blood talent. He came in and then had a couple good seasons, then left.
Yeah.
And then honestly didn't do like that good otherwise of that Super Bowl season, which was right after. So, I don't think Damian Harris will be bad. I don't think he's going to be good, and I think that we have the better running back who is now the number 1 running back anyways, Ramondre Stevenson.
That's
so,
a fact.
to be frank, I'm actually happy about this because Ramondre Stevenson is going to come in and be the guy. And they drafted 2 guys last year, one who likes to catch and one who likes to run hard. So, was it Kevin Harris loves to just run through people. So, I'm very, very excited for those guys to come in. So, genuinely, I think a B+, even an A- is really good. If they get a wide receiver 1, I honestly don't even know if I care what they give up for it. This is like an A+. Like, that's the one thing.
I'm waiting for them to trade a second rounder for Diop at this point. I'm just waiting.
We didn't talk about the offense coordinator that much, but Billy O'Brien is going to make such a dramatic difference. Such a dramatic difference on offense. We're talking 2 to 3 wins last year. Like, you don't lose the game to the Raiders. You don't lose.
Well, you don't lose the game to the Raiders.
Yeah. So that's 1 win right there. So, anyways, I'll let you go, Kyle. But I'm thinking A- for now and A+ if they get a D-Hop.
So I'm just looking at this from an outside perspective because obviously I'm not a Patriots fan. So to me, the Damian Harris loss is bigger than what you are saying it is, only because he did work in your system. Like, I don't like when you have someone who works in your system, losing them hurts. It doesn't matter how you lose them, just losing them hurts, and that's the same reason why I'm bumping them down very slightly to just an overall B. Not like I'm not bumping him down dramatically because the Mike Gesicki signing was huge. I think the Juju signing is. I'm coming around to it a little bit more. I was pretty against it when it first happened, but I'm slowly saying okay, it'll be a little bit better. I think the James Robinson signing is kind of weird, to be honest.
It's just a filler.
I know, he's a filler. I'm not saying it's like a bad signing. I just think it's kind of weird because
like Garoppolo was also a filler. If we want to add that, and then look what he did on the Patriots. He was the number 1 guy.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's weird.
I want to step on Damian Harris a little bit here.
Sure.
Damian Harris had 462 yards last year on 4.4 average yards. Ramondre Stevenson had 1,040 yards on 5 average.
I'm not trying to I'm not comparing them. I know Ramondre Stevenson is better. I'm not trying to say that Damian Harris is better than Ramondre. Hold your horses, Nick. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that losing Damian Harris is a loss. Like only because he did work in your system and you guys used him well. Not saying he's really going to go out and be successful in Buffalo because I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to fit well in that system at all. But when I'm looking at key losses for the Patriots, Damian Harris and Jacoby Myers are 2 big ones. They've kind of already replaced them, but we don't know if their replacements are going to be 100% successful compared to what they already had. So that's why I'm not saying the Patriots had an awful offseason. Like, pretty good. They got good pieces that they need. Obviously, all the rumors circulating, if they pick up D-Hop, if they pick up Lamar, like there's tons of rumors circulating around the Patriots. Like obviously, this grade could skyrocket to A+ with if they pick up either of them, depending on what they have to give
or
up
if they
for
pick
D-Hop.
up both.
Or they pick up both.
That would be legendary right there.
Oh my lord! All right. On that note, boys.
B grade. Oh, slight nod. I may bump it up to a B+ because of Bill O'Brien. Because Bill O'Brien is a huge addition. Bill O'Brien is actually a really big addition, and I never touched on that in my piece. So I'm actually going to bump it up just to a B+.
I'm fine with that. That's the exact grade I gave him.
Best in AFC East.
In the consensus here, we've got the Bills somewhere around a B. We had B- and B+ somewhere in there, so B. Dolphins at the B+ range. The Jets at a C- until they get Aaron Rodgers, and then they'll bump it up to probably an A- area. And the Patriots consensus B+ across the board. So, on that note, make sure to go click the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. Make sure to go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and TikTok. High School Backups on all 4. On that note, we'll see you next time. Peace.